Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm going to speak about a subject which can be a bit controversial and not everybody's going to agree with me. I can say that because my father's just ranted at me over this particular subject because he was talking to me about the Sarah Sharif case where obviously the parents have just been convicted of murder. And obviously, I think the uncle was it neglect he got done for as well. And he basically said to me that they should get the death penalty. Now, obviously, as we all know, death penalty hasn't been available in this country for quite a considerable length of time. Now, I'm a person that is personally against the death penalty. And as my father said to me today, about 5 minutes ago, the problem with this country in the UK is people like me who don't believe in the death penalty, who believe the statistics back up that if you put, say for instance, something like the death penalty in place, it will stop murders and serious crime. I would say tell that to the United States of America, who probably have a much higher murder rate per capita than we do. And you could look at quite a few other countries around the world where it's like that. So, the big question is, should the UK reintroduce the death penalty? And I'm going to try and stay fairly neutral on this because obviously I've already said I don't personally believe in it. So, the big questions for it, okay, is this. As things stand, a lot of people believe that if someone murders somebody else, they basically give up other human rights, including the one to stay alive themselves. So that's number one. There also should be something there that should fit the crime. So if you killed somebody, that you should be prepared to lose your life yourself. And then there's, as my father said today to me, giving the killer the death sentence will stop them and others doing it again, which there's no evidence for that. Okay, if you take a look at America. And the very small chance of executing the wrong person is balanced by the benefits to society of putting off other murderers. Okay, so that's the argument for it. I can think of arguments against it as well. So, the death penalty goes against our most basic human rights, which is the right to life. Being killed by lethal injection, hanging, firing squad, any of those types of things is not always as smooth and painless. And sometimes it can cause a painful death. You know, in America, you know, that's why a lot of states got rid of the lethal injection because it got proven that it can cause a lot of pain. Hanging's another classic one. Okay, that hanging somebody will cause pain to the person being hung. Firing squad, if you've got enough people firing, somebody's got to got to be able to do it. You know, as long as you're giving everybody live ammunition at the end of the day, somebody's got to be able to kill them. They can't be immortal. Just aim for the head. Then there's the other argument. No one, and this is normally the case nowadays, is ever proven with numbers that killing murderers stops other people committing similar offences. Now, this is a classic case of in America. Now, they have the death penalty. You know, murder rates are still massive in America. You know, go on to the most wanted, FBI's most wanted, it's full of murderers. You know, if you follow the news in America, well, I would say you've always got murder. You've also always got Trump on there at the moment. So got to be careful what I do say. Trump isn't any murderer that I know of. Okay. So if you watch any programs, you know, Crime and Investigation Channel, full of murderers on there. It's ridiculous the amount of killings that are in different states in America. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then mistakes are always going to be made because nobody's perfect. Our judicial system is not perfect. DNA's not perfect. You know, doing DNA and using that, they make mistakes, can be contaminated. Lots of mistakes can happen. You know, I know a classic case of, there's a guy, and I watched the program on Netflix, and I like to think that they've got a lot of the facts correct anyway. And it's about a guy that well, he's in jail, so I say he is the murderer. Okay, he might not be the murderer. Happened in Southampton, so where I grew up, and a woman got found dead in a lay-by by Swanwick train station. Okay. And the smoking gun to convict this one particular person was, but a CCTV camera at a petrol station filmed a car that this one particular person was driving, and the CCTV camera was probably about 30 metres away from where he was driving. And they claimed it was exactly the same car. They couldn't see the number plate. They couldn't see him driving in it. Now, the car was going past at about 9 o'clock at night in the middle of winter. I think it was around December, January time. So it was pitch black. You know, I've been past that because it's only a few miles from where I am here. Okay, there's no actual lighting or anything. And this guy got nailed and he's in jail still to this day at the moment because he's never been able to prove that his innocence or anything. He might be innocent, he might be guilty, but it's one of them classic examples of a case where can they say he's 100% guilty? Would you feel comfortable with executing somebody based on that evidence? Me personally, no, I wouldn't. But is there arguments for bringing back the death penalty? Potentially, yeah, there are. I would say if you can 100% guarantee that is the person. If you take, for instance, the Lee Rigby case, there was plenty of witnesses that saw it. There was CCTV that would have had it. Everybody knew the killers did it. Without question. That I can buy into. Where it's 100% guaranteed. There's no arguments from anybody that they did it. That I can buy into. And yes, I wouldn't argue the case on that for executing them. I know some people are going to disagree with me with saying that, but there's a lot of murderers and a lot of people that have been convicted of crimes that are in jail at the moment where I may not feel quite as comfortable. And that's what I would say. Now, I'm going to leave this debate open, so let us know in the comments down below what you personally think. Is there an argument for it, or is it something that should be completely swept under the carpet and left to the side? So let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you again a bit later.